Nico time in Knoxville, Nico time in Charlotte, Nico time literally wherever you live. The showcase that was put on tonight by Tennessee is a reason why you believe out in Rocky Top, this is the year. Welcome into the post-game show on SEC Unfiltered, presented by Game Time. Make sure that you use the promo code SECU for $20 off your very next purchase. Tennessee rolls their way to a 51-10 victory over the North Carolina State Wolfpack. He's Dave Shumate. I'm Cole Thompson. Make sure that you like the video and hit subscribe down below. This is your number one source for all things SEC moving forward. Download the podcast version of the show wherever you get your podcast listening systems. Make sure that you're following us on all the social media channels, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at SEC Unfiltered. Follow Dave on Twitter, at Mock10Sports. Follow me on Twitter, at Mr. Cole Thompson. Don't worry, Balls Twitter. I know you're coming for me. And to keep up with all of our great content, make sure that you visit secunfiltered.com. Dave, I have to do this now. I have to do this because I said this was going to be a close game. I said Tennessee was going to win. I said that Tennessee was going to look easily like the better team in the fourth quarter, but I thought NC State was going to make this a battle. I thought this was going to be a close call. It was going to be a back and forth. Tony Gibson's defense is going to deliver. I was wrong. I was very wrong. I was so wrong. I have to give a couple shout outs real fast because of people are waiting for me to actually do this. Kyle B. Fishin, 407 on YouTube. You told me to apologize to Balls Twitter and to Balls Nation. I am very sorry. I have egg on my face. I am a clown. I am an idiot. I am a man of humility. I am a man of honor. I am a man of dignity. I was wrong. I also want to give a shout out to a couple people on Instagram, because if you also called me out. Let's give a shout out to, Andrew Walsh 87. Yeah, basically you said that that Tennessee was going to score more points in the first quarter than NC State did all night. Minus the 2 picks. Where were you wrong? Where were you wrong? This was a performance where if you are a volunteer fan, where you are looking at this from a 30,000-foot angle, you're a top 4 team in college football. You are an SEC contender. You are a national champion contender. You put on a performance on both sides of the ball and on special teams that is going to allow you to fight for a spot in Atlanta. And I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of how I thought it would go. I think I said on our show with the happy, I thought the final would be 42-14. I thought NC State would score a little more than that. They had one off a pick 6. But dude, I think the story of the night's Tim Banks and the Tennessee defense. I mean, dude, those dudes. I mean, Nico didn't even play his best game. I mean, he played okay. It was very similar to, in my opinion, you look at the stat, is a very similar performance to his, I feel like, Iowa performance minus the interceptions. I mean, 16 for 23, 211, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But man, the defense. I saw at one point they had 3 sacks and 11 and a half TFLs. I think in the midway to the fourth quarter, I think NC State only had 18 yards in the second half. I mean, it was just a complete dominant performance across the board by Tim Banks. And I think that's the story of the night. I think everyone thought Tennessee would be improved defensively this year, especially in the front 7. This just showed it. I mean, you saw Kirk Herbstreit talking about it, how much they're rotating guys in just consistently, whether it's Omar Norman Lott, Amari Thomas, my guy Joseph's. It's just a unit that Rodney Garner, that defensive line, has accumulated talent across the board. I think Tennessee's offensive line is more system-based. As we all know, they run just by numbers in the box. But the defense actually has NFL dude that they're rotating in and out. That will be the difference on why I think Tennessee is going to make the college football playoff. I'm with you, Cole. I think they're a top 4 team that's impressed so far in a very, very, very early 2-week season in college football. I mean, I'm very impressed with Tennessee. I mean, I think right now the top 4 teams in the SEC, 3 of them have played good teams. But I think it's Tennessee, Georgia, not in Texas, not in any order, and then Ole Miss.
Balls Nation, I was wrong. I'm going to keep doing this throughout the entire night just to show you how 100% wrong I was. Let's go through the performance last night. Punt, field goal, interception, return for a touchdown, punt, fumble, turnover on downs, fumble, turnover on downs, punt. That was the game plan for Tennessee's defense. That was phenomenal. That is what you call a performance to where Tim Banks gets to hold his hat up high. I thought it was an overall solid game for Nico Iamaleava. I thought it was absolutely a very potent game on the ground for Dylan Sampson. You see what this offense can look like. But the problem is that you have to look at this defensive performance. The thing that I wondered about moving forward was how good can Tim Banks get this front seven? How quickly can this front seven be able to adapt? They have the most underrated linebacking core in the country. They have one of the best defensive lines in the country. They have far and away the best defensive line in the SEC. Their secondary was able to blanket Casey Concepcion, Justin Jolly, Noah Rogers. They did everything. There is no way for me to do a damn thing other than just say, I am sorry for even close to doubting Tennessee. I had them going 9-3. I had them going 9-3. I thought they were going to lose to Georgia. I thought they were going to lose to Oklahoma. I thought they were going to lose to NC State. Dave, at best, they're going to go 11-1. That is what's going to happen for this team. They may go 12-0. I think that they're going to beat Alabama the way they look tonight. I think that they're going to beat Oklahoma the way they look tonight. And the thing that I take away more than anything else is that this is correctable for Nico Iamaleava. He never felt pressured. He never felt like he was ever under duress. He was making play after play. The mobility aspect is second to none. He has been tested away from Knoxville. And the thing that he said that I thought was so confidently accurate is that he loves playing on the road. He loves going to other environments to allow himself to live up to expectations. Asked and answered and delivered. He did everything that you want to see tonight from a quarterback that can easily come through and deliver when you expect him to. 100% a performance to remember, but this is a defensive performance. If I'm giving out a game ball tonight, I'm giving it to the defense. I'm giving it to Tim Banks, and I'm giving it to that secondary and that front seven. The fact that you have 11 tackles for losses, the fact that you have 2 fumbles, the fact that you have great communication, and the fact that you have a walk-on get a pick 6 who still is not on scholarship. I'm sorry, Josh Heupel, he belongs on scholarship tomorrow morning. If he is not on scholarship, I am raging, and I'm driving up to Rocky Top to go ahead and do it.
Yes, Tennessee's the most impressive team of the day for me in the league. Just a pure dominant performance. Once they got that pick 6, when NC State was driving, that was kind of it was over at that point. Again, I said it all. If they could get up 2 scores, I don't see Grayson McCall and them stretching the field. Again, I think Tennessee's going to see better passing teams in the future. We'll truly see about the secondary. I mean, I think it's probably as good as it's been. Which, I mean, again, I think with that front seven, they don't have to be great on the back end. They just got to be.
But they are.
They just can't be disastrous. Yeah, so I mean, you got to give it up for Tennessee. I mean, again, even as bad as they were on offense, I should say we said they were.
They weren't even bad. They just were. They were a B performance.
50% on third down. It's just it's me and you talked about. Nico has such an expectation with him now that it's kind of like people are like, oh, he didn't throw for 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interception. Like, what's kind of going on? It's like it's kind of scary a little bit. Like, what would happen when he puts this together? At some point, he's going to have a flawless game along with this Tennessee front seven. Tennessee, that was dominant. I thought they would dominate that game, but it was almost even more so than I thought. I mean, it's defensively, I only had them giving up 14 points, but it was dominant.
All right, welcome to the chat. Yep, I know. If he wants to show his face, let's see.
Is Chris kidnapped?
Are you alive?
I promise I won't in the chat this time, boys.
Please
promise
don't.
I won't in the chat this time. I promise I will not in the post game this time.
It's CP, your boy, whoever your boy Jason Mikowski is, wants an apology from you. Not even on the South Carolina.
Let me step aside. All right, what are we talking about? Come on.
The Tennessee defense.
How god dang amazing they were. Because my God, I mean, honestly, I am more impressed with that than I am with the offense. And that's, I think, the biggest thing. The new defense is already at speed. Like, they immediately felt like the more impressive team. They felt like they were controlling the tempo. The way that you talk about Texas versus Michigan today is the way you got to talk about NC State against Tennessee. It was just a tempo momentum game. Any single moment that they wanted to take away a ball, they did. Any single time they wanted to actually deliver a problem, they did. Everything that you saw was a dominant showcase on both sides. But more so, you see from the defense, I mean, it was 177 yards of offense against a team that's probably going to still go 9-3. That's the difference of a college football playoff contender and a team that is just going to be in the college football playoff. And I don't even know if you're going to see NC State get to 8-4. I feel like they're a 9-3 team. The way the ACC is right now,
NC State fucking stinks.
It's not looking good.
They stink, my guy.
No,
they stink. Grayson McCall stinks.
It was not good.
Stink.
Hey, Cal's waving that flag for the
under one. Hey, what is? I don't mean to interrupt the post game, boys, because I'm doing that. Hey, this is the new tradition, boys. I'm gonna just jump in. I look Cole's face. He wants to punch me in the face. Cole is so mad right now.
I'm out of myself.
Is so upset. Cole
out of myself. I'm an idiot.
Dave is like, my wife is allowing me to do this post game for C Philly to do this.
You gotta be up to the
Look at Dave. Dave's like, I hate myself. I don't get paid enough for this shit.
I'm gonna be hung the hell over tomorrow morning.
Cole,
I'm taking my sorrows away.
Cole, are you in Houston?
Yes.
Dave, are you in Atlanta?
Yeah,
Dave,
I'm in Atlanta.
You're close. Dave. God damn it, we're going to Columbia next weekend. Come on, Dave. Come on, Dave.
Are we officially announcing it? Is
Dave,
the caravan going to Columbia,
Dave,
South Carolina?
Come on, Dave. Come on, Dave. We're going. Come on. Hey, fuck Steve Fink. Fuck Justin King. Fuck South Carolina. We're going to Columbia, goddammit. We're going. We're going.
Hey,
we're going to go.
The thing is, South Carolina may win that game if
hey, fuck them, dog. We're going.
Can't go. Maybe Ricky Collins in the bowl.
Dave, I swear to God, Dave, I'm driving to fucking Columbia and picking you up. I'm driving to
Atlanta
Atlanta
to pick him up.
Yeah,
Dave, can you come get me to Houston?
Dave, I am driving to Atlanta and picking you up, Dave. I am going to drive and pick you and your baby up.
We're going to pull a hangover.
I swear to God, Dave. And I might drive to Houston and pick fucking Cole up, too.
Do it. I'm 100% in.
Hey, we're going to watch Lenora Stellars toast LSU. We're going to watch it. Lenora Stellars toast LSU.
As long as you sit next to Jason. That's all I'm saying.
You're the one that – Cole, didn't you pick the W? Come on. I did. You got to go. You got to go, Dave. You got to go, Cole. You got to go, Cole.
Cole did pick the dub.
I did pick the dub.
Now, all right, now I'm in a place where I'm not in the midst of the people. But you got to go, Cole. Come on.
If Prize Picks will send me out there, I will be in Columbia, South Carolina.
Cole. Who says we don't have the budget to get you out here?
Do it. I'm good.
I'll
be there next week.
Cole. Tell your wifey Prize Picks to send you out here. Come on, dog.
Okay.
Hey, who said Cole Thompson ain't in the budget?
Is he alive? There you go.
I'm very alive. Who said Cole Thompson is in the budget?
Oh, God. I know.
Hey,
Chris, let's get back to the postgame show. Let's talk Tennessee.
All right.
Let's talk Tennessee.
All
right. I'm just saying, hey, I'll tell you this. Nico in person dominated. Vols dominated. I'm just saying. I didn't mean to interrupt, boys. All right. Where's the comments? Hey. Fuck Dave Portnoy. This is C Philly, goddammit. Let's go.
Jesus.
Hey, our guy here at the end of this world, these Vol fans here, Cole, they want respect. I don't think anybody's not giving Tennessee respect. We're in here saying they're a top 4 team in the sport right now.
I'm sorry. All right, let's get back to the main point. So Tennessee tonight, in my opinion, showed not only were they a top 4 team, they are a team that you don't want to mess with in the SEC. Oklahoma's not going to handle them. I already said Alabama wasn't going to be able to handle them. I 100% believe that they're not going to be able to do it. I look at Georgia. That's going to be a toss-up game at this point. Everything that you saw tonight was consistency. They're not just a threat to win the SEC. They are a threat to win the national championship. That performance is what you see. And I'll tell you what, Nico, his mistakes tonight are beyond correctable. The first interception, you had all the time in the world. It was a little bit overthrown. You weren't able to correct it. but it's not that big of a deal. It's easily one of those things that can just revamp. You can go ahead and find yourself another consistency. The other interception is a pick six. It was absolutely one of those plays that you want to have back. Ball tipped at the line. It's one of those that hangs in the air long enough. It's correctable. You have everything to be one of the best teams in college football. And it doesn't matter who you play. They have to play to your standard. That's where you are looking at this team differently. And I remember when you were talking about in 2022, what we saw from Hendon Hooker, what we saw from this up-tempo offense, what we saw from the passing attack. They have better weapons. That's the crazy part. You had for half a season, Cedric Tillman. You had Brew McCoy come on. He immediately started catching fire once Cedric Tillman went out, and you had Jalen Hyatt. You have everything. You have Holden Stays. You have great tight end play. You have absolutely.
I was impressed with Dylan Sampson, and I was a guy going into the year. Again,
you have everything. You have everything. You have Brazel. You have a great passing attack in the backfield. Not to mention, you also have a guy in Mike Matthews that we have barely even seen touch the field. And when he does, I think that's going to be electric.
Yeah.
There is no reason to believe that the offense that we saw in 2022 can't be regrouped and, more importantly, re-elevated to new heights. That's what we're talking about with this Tennessee team. And now they got a defense and they got a run game. It literally, I said this in the offseason. The most underrated group in all of college football will be Tennessee's linebackers and Tennessee's run game. The way that I look at these two is that just because they're unproven doesn't mean that they're not talented. They showed up tonight. They delivered in front of another team that is better than Chattanooga. They look like a roster that can easily compete for a national title.
Yeah, I think Dylan Sampson making it through a whole season as the RB1 full-time, I still think will be a question. They need somebody like Deshaun Bishop to help carry at some point. That would be my only concern, just from a depth standpoint. It's like you said, not really that they can't do it. It's just unproven. I want to see. I don't know if Dylan Sampson's body type holds up for a whole season, but that he needs somebody as an RB2 to help him out from that perspective. That's what I was saying going into the year, but he does look like he's put on more weight. Last year when you had Jalen Wright, Jabari Small, and them, you didn't really see as much with him. He's more like the scat back, throw it to him out in the backfield, him make plays. But he's put on some good weight, some mass. It looks like it's just his body type in the first 2 weeks of seeing him. So he's been impressive. I mean, there's not much you can nitpick. I mean, again, Nico is probably the guy you could probably nitpick the most in this game, and it wasn't bad. And it's like you said, I think it's stuff it can definitely be improved on.
It's easily correctable. That's the main thing. I mean, you look at like Miles Kitselman, he was phenomenal. He should have had another touchdown. And you had Cooper Mays down the field that was, one time like illegal play. Like that's the problem is that's a dude that impressed. And by the way, the throw was beyond impressive. That was the part that was awesome. And it's all correctable. The little things, the minor kinks, the things that you can absolutely change overnight. That is where you look at Nico and say, it's going to get better. Because it is. It 100% is. I am somebody, and I made this clear to Volunteer Nation. I made this clear to College Football Nation. I don't believe in bowl game performances. Good, bad, indifferent, it does not matter to me. I will never judge you based off a bowl game performance. I will take this game and say, the things that I saw from Nico tonight are correctable, and the things that you watched tonight are unteachable.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And the crazy part is again, you watched what Hendon Hooker could do, where Josh Heupel said, this is the best quarterback to run my offense. But you look at Nico, that's a quarterback that was handpicked by Josh Heupel to run his offense. That's the difference between these two, is that now you're watching a quarterback that absolutely fits the system and is so comfortable in it. He looks fantastic. There is not a single bit of a drop-off from what you saw in the performance tonight versus what you saw in the performance in the bowl game. But now you're watching it with a full season. And also, he just looked poised. Yeah. He looked like he was a veteran. And this is a kid that's only going to get better. I'll tell you what, Vols Nation, I apologize. Again, let's do this one more time. I was wrong. Very wrong on how this game went tonight. Very, very, very wrong. Come for me in the comments section. I'm all for it. This man is going to be in New York City 1 year. It may be this year. It may be next year. He will win a Heisman Trophy. The performance you saw tonight is unteachable. It is just a gift. It is something that you look at that is either you have it or you don't. And they 100% have it in Nico Iamaleava.
Yeah, right now I think I'm more confident now they'll beat Oklahoma. Again, that's in a couple of weeks. College football is a week-to-week sport, as we've seen with a couple of teams today. Cole, you got to stop apologizing, brother. You made your predictions with the data you had at your hand. I'm sticking up for you. You don't have you have nothing to apologize for.
No, I was wrong. I was beyond wrong. I thought it was going to be at least something. It wasn't.
I mean, this one you were wrong on. Some other reactions, I think you took with what data we had in front of us. But no, I mean,
no, this one was wrong. I mean, this
one was wrong. I mean, again, I thought it would be like 42-14. I don't know. I just thought.
I thought it was 31-24. No, I was wrong.
For NC State to win this game, for NC State to be in this game, they almost, I think, had to have the lead majority of this game. It was if Tennessee just got out to a multiple score lead. It was just like, dude, they can't play catch up. That's just not NC State's style. But you're right. I still think NC State's probably going to be. I mean, what do you think? 8-4, 9-3 in the ACC.
Probably. I mean, like that. But like, does that say more of a testament to what the ACC is, or does that say
more?
Like
I said, Cal's just waving that flag right now, baby. Cal in Miami.
Let's talk about this real fast. When you look at Tennessee and you look at the SEC just in general today, because there were some sloppy performances, not just Auburn, Alabama looked anemic at times against South Florida, a team that last year they went down to Tampa. You never thought that you would see this type of performance, and yet they found a way to win by 26, but it came all in the fourth quarter when you just saw the Bulls run out of gas. Oklahoma going down to the wire against Houston that got boat raced last week by UNLV. You look at a team like Ole Miss that hasn't played anybody. Now you have questions about what's going on with Luther Burden and his longevity at Missouri. You didn't see a great performance at times from LSU. They allowed Nicholls State to hang around a little bit far too long. And, McNeese, they had a decent overall outing, but A&M put them away because they just were the better team. Tennessee's got to be at least top 3 in your opinion for the SEC right now.
Yeah, I mean, got to be, right? Yeah, I mean, just off. I mean, what do we think?
Georgia and Texas are clear about it.
Georgia and Texas have played better teams. They both are proven to against those two teams. Yeah, I would probably go right now as we stand right now, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, and then probably Ole Miss just off. If you made me rank the top 4 off that, it just Ole Miss sitting at 4 because I don't think we're going to know until they make that trip to Columbia. Like, really, I think we know they're good. We'll see when they go to Columbia how good, because South Carolina showed today they're a solid football team.
South Carolina and Vanderbilt look like those two teams that right now are living off of the Kool-Aid, and that as soon as that high comes down, it's going to be really bad. And even still, it's bad as what, 8-4, 7-5? Like, it's not that bad. That's the problem, that's the difference between these squads. Alabama looks beatable. I thought that absolutely Tennessee would win in the third Saturday in October in that game. I feel really more confident in that. I look at LSU. There's question marks on both sides of the ball. I look at question marks when you're talking about Missouri at this point, even though they did get a win. Definite question marks when it comes to Oklahoma. The question marks that I have for Tennessee are beyond fixable. It's having your offensive line give Nico a little bit more protection. It's Nico throwing under pressure. It's Nico probably adding a little bit more of the velocity on the ball to where it's a bit more touch. And even then, they're all fine. They're all things that are easily manageable. Defensively, you're going to face off against better wide receivers than what you saw tonight. You are going to have to play against better offenses and more personnel, but you're going to be good. Your defensive line is the best in the SEC for my money. Your linebacking core is the most underrated position in all of college football. You have a run game. You have wide receivers that can easily find ways and creases in the open avenue. You also look at the way this offense is ran, especially with the tight end play. There's so much to like about Tennessee right now.
No, ton to like, man. Dominant performance. You're right. Top 2 performers of the day with South Carolina probably coming in third. But I think you got Texas and Tennessee sitting, I think, there as the top 2 teams from the SEC in week 2. And like I said, I'd put South Carolina because, they're the only team that's 1-0 in conference right there at 3.
I also want to give a shout out to Tennessee's offensive line. Like Tennessee, my favorite addition of the entire offseason was the addition of Zalance Hurd. That was a starting left tackle in the NFL in 2 years. And the fact that now he is in your line and you're able to move, what's his name, over to the right side, that just is such a confidence booster. You look at how this line performs, how many open avenues they can do for Dylan Sampson and whatever they else do in the run game. They average 5.3 yards per play.
Cooper Mays, that's a thing too we got to talk about with Tennessee.
Veteran center.
Has to stay healthy. We saw last year when Cooper Mays went out against Florida. And again, some of that's Joe Milton missing some stuff for Mel Keaton dropping balls. But again, that offense looked different without Cooper Mays. He's got to stay healthy. He's an underrated cog for this offense as well.
Everything about this offensive line just screams that they will get protection. I think the other part is you have so many weapons that know how to play certain positions. Everyone has a role in this offense, which is something that is awesome for Nico. He is in a plug-and-play ready situation, but the part that is so fantastic is he feels comfortable 2 games in. Like, yes, you can throw the bowl game in last year, but this is truly his first major start of 2024 where he is the guy. There is no Joe Milton. There is just Nico Iamaleava, and he feels comfortable.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel like the tempo is too much for him. He doesn't feel like that there is anything that he can't do. And again, the interceptions, correctable. The one pass that was the pick, that wasn't the pick six. It was just an overshot ball. You missed Brew McCoy, but you had the protection. You can learn how to lead your receiver a little bit better. The other one, batted ball up in the air. It hung for too long. Immediately, you had nobody in the way. 6 points. That's just what happens. Sometimes that's just the case. So overall, when you look at it, Nico had a very solid night. It could be better. It will be better against other teams. And it's all moving in the right direction. This is a performance where if you look back, the thing about Tennessee, there's a lot to fix, but all of it is correctable. And so now you have it on film to say, this is what we do differently next time. This is where we look at this. This is what we're supposed to do. Everything that you see is all 100% correctable.
No, I agree. He's a good bit. High ceiling still stuff to work on. Like you said, high ceiling, good window. I will be fired up to see Nico play that Oklahoma defense, though. That's going to be a major task because I do like the Sooner defense. Offense leaves a lot to be desired right now for the Sooners, but I do think Brent Venables, Zach Alley, that veteran Sooner defense at all 3 levels, they're going to throw a lot at Nico. That's his next test, obviously, because, Kent State next week is whatever. And then got the game with the Josh Heupel homecoming. I think that'll be a big test for Nico. I do feel a lot better about the Vols heading into that one than I did probably preseason, just because of Oklahoma's offense. I don't know if they get a lot moving against that Tennessee front, but I do think that'll be a massive test for Nico, though, because I think that the defense is going to travel every week, I think, for Oklahoma.
Before we get on out of here, let's just go ahead and talk about the defense real fast. A performance that you will forever remember because of 11.5 tackles for loss. The fact that you got to see more of what James Pierce can do. The fact that you got to see the depth of this defensive line. I think that's a really big standout. The secondary, again, against a team that you thought was going to have very good passing attacks. Yep, 100%. You did your job. Linebacking core is going to get better. But that defensive line, I cannot wait to see what they do against SEC competition because they're going to put Jalen Milroe behind the sticks. They're going to make Jackson Arnold feel the pressure.
It's a manageable conference schedule, really.
It's a very manageable conference schedule. Just look through it real fast. Oklahoma, Arkansas, Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Georgia, Vanderbilt. You can easily hold your own against every single person.
If they lost more than 2 games, Cole, I think you would agree. You'd be shocked.
At this point, I have to be.
Yeah.
Because I think that they're a 10-2 team at worst.
Yeah,
I think they're a 12-0 team at best. And also, it would be they're playing down to someone's competition. And I don't think that they're going to do that. I think someone's going to have to play up to their level, and they're going to have to deliver the crushing blow in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the way that you're going to have to beat Tennessee this year. They are a college football playoff team. They look poised on both sides of the ball. They feel like that they have the confidence to be able to go toe-to-toe with anybody. There is nothing that you can do to stop this team. The only thing that's going to stop this team is themselves. And it's going to happen when they have to play against competition that is at their level. And there's one team right now that has shown they even can hold their own, and it's Georgia. And besides that, and again, that game's in Athens. So you have to throw the environment into the atmosphere. That's going to be a reason why.
Both teams will have injuries by then. Probably it's like second to last game of the year, I think, at that point.
But even still, as long as you're mostly healthy, if you're 90% healthy, you feel very good about the direction of this team.
Dude, a while we didn't even talk about it either. We forgot about it. Tennessee hadn't allowed a touchdown yet this year.
They have. Nico Iamaleava has been on drives for over 100 points, and they have yet to allow a touchdown. That is mind-boggling. That is absolute.
I see Paul Gardner here keep saying Tennessee's beating Oklahoma by 1 or 2 touchdowns. So come get your. So I don't think me and Cole are saying Tennessee's going to lose to Oklahoma at this point, but I do think you'd be naive to not think that's going to be a test for the Tennessee offense on the road against probably one of the more veteran defenses who have the least amount of question marks of any defense against a defensive head coach and a pretty good defense coordinator, Zach Alley. I think that will be a test. So I wouldn't expect to go roll in there. I promise you this, they have a better defense than NC State has. I'll say that.
It feels beyond weird that we live in a society where right now Miami, Texas, potentially USC, and Tennessee all are going to be legit college football playoff contenders. And their fan bases have reasons to talk. They do. Because this is a team that feels like they can hold their own. And more importantly, they get to play up to everyone else's competition. No, let me phrase that. Everyone else has to play up to their competition. They are a complete roster, top to bottom, for right now and moving forward. So long as you have Nico Iamaleava, so long as you have an offensive line built like this, you have a chance. The wide receiver depth is fantastic. I like the running game. I also truly do believe that this defense is only going to get better. There's no reason to doubt Tennessee. A performance like this tonight is a reason why you believe that the Volunteers can be in Atlanta. It's a reason they can win in Atlanta. They don't even have to worry about playing at Rocky Top in the first round of the playoffs, because if they're going to have a bye, they feel like they have everything there. They may not. They may end up losing a game. Who's to say? But at the end of the day, the performance that you saw tonight, everything is correctable that you watched, and everything that you saw can translate to SEC competition. Absolutely.
100%, man. Dominant performance by the old Vols.
Like, rate, review, subscribe. Make sure you hit the comment section down below. What was your biggest takeaway from tonight's performance from Rocky Top? Volunteers, 51-10. I was an idiot. I was wrong. Congratulations on proving me wrong. Make sure that you also hit the follow button, because it's your number one source for all things SEC. Download the podcast version of the show wherever you get your podcast listening systems. Make sure you follow Dave on Twitter at Mock10Sports. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Cole Thompson. Follow us on Twitter at SEC Unfiltered. Plus, we're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Go and roast me in the comments, Vols Twitter. I was wrong. I'm totally okay with it. And to check out all of our great work, make sure that you visit SECUnfiltered.com. For Dave Shumate, I'm Cole Thompson. Rocky Top rolling. Peace.